Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. My name is Stanley and along with my beautiful wife Jen, we are the Crumbs in the Philippines. Jen's out back today doing some laundry and washing our clothes. It's another beautiful day here in Batangas and I figured I'd sit down and make another video on a topic that we get quite a few comments and questions about. And several people have actually asked me to make this video, so I thought I'd go ahead and give it a shot. And that is about as many things as we can think of regarding cell phone use in the Philippines. That's what we're going to talk about today. Just stay with us and we'll see you on the other side. As always, we really appreciate you guys that are viewers regularly and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it. We're thinking about doing a live stream sometime in the future, and we kind of set a goal for that at 2,000 subscribers. We're at 1,758, I think, subscribers the last time I checked. But when we get to 2,000, we're going to put up a live stream and hopefully get a little interaction with some folks out there, and we can answer questions in a real-time format. Anyway, guys, we'll get started. I'm going to try to approach this topic in chronological order, starting from when you first leave your country of origin and you're planning on coming to the Philippines, and what would be the natural progression of cell phone use, what you need to know, and I'll try to keep it as simple as I can. I mean, do your own research. There's a ton of information out there. Not so much on YouTube, but online on Google search. You can find a lot of written information on this, especially from phone carriers. They're a pretty good source of information. And also some of the international airlines have quite a bit of information as well. So the first question that most people ask themselves is, will my cell phone that I have here in the U.S. or wherever I'm from, will it work when I get to the Philippines? And the answer to that question is that it depends on whether or not your phone is locked or unlocked. If you purchased your phone outright and you're not on a plan where you're paying for your phone on a monthly basis, your phone could very easily be unlocked. And that's what you need when you come to the Philippines. If your phone is locked and you still owe money on the payment plan, then the carrier that it's tied to is probably not going to unlock the phone for you until the phone is paid for, especially if they know you're leaving the country, because there's no AT&T or Verizon or Mint Mobile. There's none of that stuff here in the Philippines. So the first thing that I did is I had two phones that I wanted to bring with me to the Philippines. I had a Motorola E6 that was unlocked because I purchased it at Walmart, paid cash for it, went to Verizon, and that was the phone that I used the last year I was in the United States. Then I had an older phone, an Amazon Fire Phone, which even though it was paid for, it was locked. And I had to go online, and depending on the carrier, you can go to their website and you can enter in the IMEI number of your phone, which you can find in the settings, and it'll tell you whether your phone is locked or not. And I found out that my phone was locked, and it gave me instructions. And what I had to do was send an email to AT&T, which is who I had service with when I purchased the Amazon Fire Phone. And then I waited about a week, and they sent me an email with an unlock code. It was a long code, but anyway, I was able to unlock my phone. There's instructions on how to do it in the email that they send you, and you go in, you unlock it, and then you're good to go. If your phones are unlocked when you land in the Philippines, you can go to a service provider and get a SIM card from the Philippines and put it in your phone, and you get a Philippine phone number, and it works just like any other phone here in the Philippines. Okay, that's one option that you have. So what I did was go to a phone center at the SM Mall. They popped in a SIM card, which was free. The service to put it in cost me 20 pesos. And then I have a prepaid cell phone, which there are a myriad of ways where you can add load to your phone, and we'll go over those in just a moment. Now, some phones have a dual SIM card, and you could just add a Philippine SIM card along with your local country SIM card, which could be handy for some folks that really need to make a lot of communications back and forth between their home country. If you're going to use a Philippine phone number for that, that's going to cost you a lot of money. The cost, I don't know the exact cost per minute, but we're talking an exorbitant amount of money to make a long distance phone call on a Philippine phone plan. Okay? So a lot of people that need to make a lot of calls back to the States will keep their plan from the States active so that they can continue to use that SIM card and that phone number. But for me, that just wasn't a reasonable thing for me to do. So I just got a SIM card from Globe, which is one of the big carriers here in the Philippines, and I got a Philippine phone number and used the prepaid option. Now your big carriers here are Globe, Smart, and then they have a new upstart company that's starting to pick up steam, especially in the populated areas, called DITO, D-I-T-O. But I went with Globe because Globe had 3 times as many cell towers, and especially in the Lipa City area and up in Manila, Globe gets the best signal and the best download speeds. And of course, you're going to find people with different opinions on that, and it's really up to you to decide what you want to go with. But, I went with Globe, and I don't have any regrets or issues with that, and it worked just fine with my Motorola phone. And then the Amazon Fire phone that I brought with me, I gave it to my son-in-law, and he didn't have any issues using that as well with the Philippine SIM card. Now, if you don't want to maintain your U.S. phone number, you're going to come across sometimes whenever you really need a U.S. phone number. For me, before I left, my youngest daughter, I gave her a power of attorney for me. It's valid for 3 years, which means I still have another year and a couple of months to go on it, where she's able to make financial decisions for me, business transactions. And luckily I have Darian, that's my youngest daughter. She's very trustworthy. It's got to be somebody that you absolutely trust in order to do something like this with. But I use her home address and her phone number for all of my banking transactions and credit card accounts and things like that, so that if there's ever any two-step verification needed, it goes to her phone number, and then she'll immediately text me back the little PIN number that they send you to verify. And the only inconvenience of that is that we kind of have to coordinate because of the time difference, where I have to make sure that I do that during a time that, number one, she's awake, and that she's also available to do something like that for me. And she doesn't mind doing it. She's a really good girl, and she takes care of me very well in that respect. And that's worked out very nicely for me. But if you don't have that option available to you, and you don't want to maintain a phone number in the United States and pay that bill every month, which that was a thing for me. I just didn't want to keep paying Verizon on one of their international plans, which can be pretty pricey, so I just completely got rid of the Verizon when I came here. And if you're like me and you don't want to pay that U.S. phone bill just to be able to make 2 or 3 phone calls every once in a while, or do a verification, and you don't have someone back at home that you trust and that can take care of those things for you, then another option you can use is some of the services online, such as Skype, Viber, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. All of these things are very good for communicating with people on other countries and other continents. You can FaceTime in real time, you can text message each other, and you can make phone calls as well. Now, if it's a person that also has the same service downloaded on their phone, then there's no charge for that service over the internet. But if you need to have a dedicated phone number for yourself that's going to remain the same over the course of time, then for a pretty small fee, and I don't know about all of the services, but for Skype, I researched that one, and for about $9 a month, you can have a U.S. phone number and pick your own area code, and they'll assign you a phone number. And then for $9 a month, you can keep that phone number and use it for financial transactions, callbacks. You can make phone calls on it. But you do have to purchase credits to make phone calls as well. That $9 fee is just for the phone number, to keep that active phone number for you, which I didn't do this. It wasn't feasible for me. I just don't need to do or conduct that much business back in the U.S. But if you do, it might be something that you want to look into and get for yourself, because from what I understand, the service works very well. And you can send and receive both voice phone calls, and you can also send text messages via SMS on those services as well. Okay, let me think. What am I missing here? I think we just about covered everything that I can think of regarding cell phones. If you ever want to buy a cell phone here in the Philippines, there's stores everywhere, and you have to register SIM cards now in the Philippines. That was a new thing. We recently had to do that, where we had to go online and register our SIM cards with the government. But whenever you buy a new cell phone now, they automatically register you for that. But since we bought ours before that new law went into effect, we had to go online and actually do that manually, which that was kind of a pain in the butt. But it's all over now. You had to send in a picture of your ID card and passport. It was quite an ordeal, but we got through it. And since that time, Jen and I have both bought new phones, and in hindsight, I kind of wish I had known when I bought my cell phone that I was going to be making videos for YouTube, because I had no idea at that time that we were going to be doing that. This was only about 6 to 7 months ago, and then we went out and bought these phones, and we bought Vivo phones, which they're nice and everything, and they work great. They have 256 gigabytes of storage, which is a ton of storage for a cell phone. But the problem is the camera quality. If I had known that the quality of the camera on the Vivo V25e was not quite what you need to take and upload videos to YouTube, I would have paid a few more dollars and gotten a little bit better phone. I mean, overall, I'm happy with the phone, but you can get a decent cell phone here, a smartphone, touchscreen, with pretty good memory for less than $250. And whenever we bought ours, the 256 gigabytes, they were just a little bit less than $300 each for the cell phones. And we haven't had any problems with them. They came with a free case, which had a 1-year guarantee on screen cracks and anything like that. And we actually had to use that once on Jen's phone. We went in and they replaced the screen for no charge. Anyway, guys, as always, we super appreciate you so much for joining us on this journey and experiencing our life with us. So all we're trying to do is just give you a taste of what it's really like to live here. And going forward, we're going to do kind of a little bit more variety in our video offerings. We're going to have some like day-to-day life things here, like what do we do during the day, how do we cook our food, and just day-to-day stuff that most people find informative to see what life is really like living here in the Philippines. It's a pretty slow pace of life and very enjoyable for me. I know that my stress level kind of dropped off the charts whenever I left the USA. And I think the next video that I'm going to do is going to be of why I decided to leave the United States as early as I could. And I took retirement as just the earliest opportunity I possibly could. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us as always. And stay healthy, stay safe, be happy. And we'll see you next time. Take care.